Everyone, salutations. So today we are going to finish with skill set 3 JavaScript. Okay, and this is the last video of skill set 3, that is SOP for second question. Okay, so the question is to calculate addition and division of two numbers, but we have to do it in event driven manner. Event driven manner means you do some form entry. Okay, not necessarily it should be a form entry, it can be anything, but generally in event driven a form is provided to accept input from the user, and then user can fill up the form, click on some button, and then after the button click some calculations will be performed and output will be generated. So general in 11th standard you are going to learn about event driven, as well as in 12th standard it is going to be continued, and both in 11th and 12th you are going to do event driven JavaScript code with the help of form. Okay, that means first of all you are going to display some form depending upon the question, how what to accept from the user. According to that you will create a form, and there will be some button, and on button click some function will execute. Okay, and the question will be performed. All right, so the question is very simple. The output is given in the question. Okay, so I will quickly explain you. I have already solved this. I saved this file and I executed, and I'm getting correct output. So I will first of all explain you what is going on over here. It's very simple, so pay attention carefully. You know very well whatever we see in angular brackets. Okay, whatever we see in angular brackets represent HTML coding. All right, so first task is to create the form. Okay, and necessarily you must provide name attribute in the form tag, as well as whatever elements you are creating inside the form, text boxes. At least to the text boxes you must give names. Okay, name attribute. Using name attribute, provide names like this. For both the text boxes I gave names T1 and T2, and name you can avoid for the buttons. Okay, so for the buttons, if you avoid name attribute, no issue, you will still get output. Here I have not used name attribute in the buttons, you can see carefully, and still I have got the output. In textual examples also, name attribute is not used for the button creation, and it's correct. Okay, so you must give name attribute to at least form as well as other elements except the buttons. All right, so the output, let me execute this. Here in this folder I have saved all the files, and this is the file name ad.html addition division. So I gave ad and I will execute this. In Internet Explorer you can execute in any other browser, but in Internet Explorer first of all you have to allow the JavaScript code by clicking this allow block content. All right, so this is the output of the form, which is exactly given as per the question. The first number and the second number are in bold effect. So to apply the bold effect, I gave b tag here in this manner before the text, and before the text I gave b tag, and at the ending I just closed it in this manner. You can also give a b tag in this manner, like directly give a b tag at the starting and close it after the breaks. Okay, after the breaks of the second text box, that is also correct. You can give break tag individually also, no issue. Okay, the way I gave. Then two buttons are there. Value I gave as per the question, addition and divide. And on click, right now on click will not be needed. On click is needed only after creation of the function. So to perform addition and the division, I created functions. Now this JavaScript, okay, this JavaScript part, script language is equal to JavaScript. I told you in the earlier video, the script tag can be included inside the container of body tag as well as inside the container of head tag. Okay, because in body tag already we have given form, there is a container of form. So you can alternatively give script tag inside header section of the web page, that is head tag, inside the head tag. after the title, opening and closing, you can give script tag, and inside the script tag we will need two functions because there are two buttons, addition and divide. Okay, so when you click on addition, addition must perform, and when you click on divide, division must be performed. Okay, so for that we will need two different functions, and each button we will give a single function to execute. You can also alternatively put the script tag inside form, inside body tag after the closure of the form tag. That is also correct, no problem with that. You can try if you want, you will get the correct output for that also. Okay, now let's discuss about the function. As I told you, when we perform event-driven JavaScript, okay, so each button gets the control of a function. Now function, why it is needed? So that the entire task can be capsuled inside the covering of a function. And you just need to put the name of the function, and rest all statements inside the function will execute and perform your task. Okay, so this is the easiest way. Alright, so two operations we have to do, addition operation and division operation. So how to give function? First of all, provide the keyword function and name of the function. Name of the function you can give as per your convenience. This is totally subjective, totally up to you. But this is the keyword of JavaScript. So be careful while typing. Don't type capital letter anywhere. Function is totally in small letters. This addition, add, capital A, small a, you can give as per your convenience. This is the name of the function which you give. Okay, so you can modify as you want, but name of the function should have parenthesis structure at the end. Then entire statements related to addition will be enclosed in this covering called curly brackets. Okay, so first of all we will take two variables. Now here you will say I did not use var keyword to declare the variables. Both type of declarations are allowed, implicit as well as explicit. So in previous examples, I have always used var keyword, var n1, n2. That is the example of explicit variable declaration. That means you are separately informing the browser that these are the variables which will be used throughout. Okay, but you can directly declare the variables and start using them. That is also correct. This is implicit variable declaration. Okay, this is also allowed. But what is this? Parse int. Okay, now parse int is an inbuilt function just like prompt. Okay, there are many inbuilt functions you have seen in the lesson. Okay, one inbuilt function is parse int. There is also a function called parse float. Okay, that means whatever is the input, it converts that into integer and stores. Okay, so we have to take the input from the text boxes, from this text box as well as this text box. Name of this text box is T1 and name of this text box is T2. But both the text boxes are inside the form and name of the form is F1. F1, T1, T2. Alright. So first of all, give the name of the form. Then separate each item with period symbol, name of the form, and then give name of the text box. And whatever is the value of text box, okay, convert that into integer and store in n1. Okay, this is the meaning of this statement. Similarly for the n2. Okay, so whatever value is entered in T1 and T2 text boxes are converted into integer with the help of parseInt function and stored in individual variables n1 and n2. Then next step is to take another variable. I took sum and add both n1 and n2. Okay, so whatever is the value inside n1 and n2 will be added, and I have used this alert function. Now this is also alert function and this is the name of the variable. Okay, now name of the variable should never be surrounded with double quotes. You will not get the correct output, because if you surround that with double quotes, your output will be SUM. It will return it as it is, like a text. Okay, it will not be understood as a variable name by the web browser. So if you use the exact variable name like this inside the parenthesis, you will get the value stored inside that variable. Okay, Now same thing for the division, separate function, because there are two separate buttons for addition and division. Okay, so that means when the user clicks on addition button, addition should be performed, and when user clicks on division, division should be performed. And that is why we have a requirement of creation of two different functions, because there are two different buttons. Okay, and the remaining task is also same. You have to convert the values entered by the user in text boxes T1 and T2, convert them in integer and store them in N1 and N2. Okay, I took same variables, you can take another N3 and 4. Okay, so what minor changes will you do here? N3, N4. Okay, it's better to give unique variable names. Okay, all right, so this has been done. So values have been converted into integer, and then perform division. Division is equal to n3 slash n4. Okay, divide first value by second value, and in alert dialog box you will display the output. This is the variable name which is storing the quotient of the division and will be displayed in the alert dialog box. Finally, when both the functions are complete, our task is also complete, so close the script tag, and this entire script tag is in the container of head tag. Okay, so now let's try to display the output. I will save it and I will refresh it because I made some minor changes. Now let me give any number. 5, 3, addition, C. In the alert dialog box, I got the value stored inside the sum, that is 8. 5 plus 3, 8. Now with the same values, I will click on divide. So this is the division which I got. Okay, that means the function are executing correctly. Now let me just add few words to make it more proper. Sum. So here I will just add addition. Addition is. Okay, and join this with the help of concatenation symbol. And similarly here also I will add division is, or the answer is, whatever. Now this is text which you are adding to make it look more proper. Okay, because we just saw the output and we were getting the numbers, only the answers. Okay, but you couldn't make it out what is this addition, division, what it is. Okay, so to specify it properly, I use this text, and to join this two different things, I used concatenation operator. Now once again Control S and refresh. Okay, refresh once again and give values 8 plus 9. Addition is 17. Okay, then divide, division is this. All right, so it's done. And very important, the name of the functions, okay, should be mentioned in the buttons, because when you click on specific button, that particular operation must be performed, either addition or division. So how to do that? By using event handler on click. Okay, use the event handler on click and provide the name of the function, exactly this one, entire thing with the parenthesis, exactly. Okay, now if the function is here, you have, while creation you mentioned small a, and while typing here if you give capital A, you will not get the correct output. You know why? Because this function capital A double D will not be matched with this one and you won't get correct output. So while typing, be very careful. JavaScript is case sensitive. Yes. Okay, and mention them in double quotes. And this is how you link the button with the function, and that is how while clicking on the buttons you get the specific output in the alert boxes, because we mentioned alert over here like this. Okay, so it's done. So now we have completed all the questions of JavaScript skill set 3. Okay, so please take a screenshot and perform step by step. First of all, just execute the form. First of all, type the basic structure of HTML and just execute the form. Okay, don't, while executing the form, don't add this on click part. You add this on click part after creation of individual function. First you create, first of all you execute the form. Okay, first of all execute only this much. Okay, when you get the correct output of the form, inside the header section, after the closure of title tag, give a script tag and create only one function. Create only single function. Okay, and then put the on click event handler, mention name of the function correctly and see if you get correct output. And this is how step by step you must perform every HTML and JavaScript coding. Okay, so even if there is a mistake, you can see that only little part, wherever the mistake is there, you can sort out, make corrections, execute it, and then perform step by step. Do not type the entire coding and see the output. First of all, you will not understand the logical execution, and probably there will be mistakes in typing. Okay, so always go step by step, and especially for event driven, first of all create the form. Okay, when you get the output of the form, then create the function and then use the event handler to link the function with the button in this manner. Okay, so please take the screenshot of it. I will slowly scroll down. This is the first function. Now this is the second function. Both the functions should be inside the container of script tag, and the script tag we have provided inside header section, that means inside the head tag. Okay, now inside the body tag provide form. So I hope so you have taken the screenshot. So now we have completed, for 11th standard we have completed 4 skill sets. Skill set 1, 2, 3 as well as 4. 4 skill sets are complete. Now if you see page number, I mean the index of the textbook. Okay, see the index of the textbook, and it is mentioned skill oriented practicals part. Select any 4 skill oriented practicals from the following list, and they have given 6 skill sets and they have asked to perform any 4 skill sets. So 4 skill sets have been, I have actually done 4 skill sets. Okay, now some of you are also telling to perform skill set 5, that is GIMP, Inkscape, and skill set 6, that is DBMS PostgreSQL. So I will try. Now this uh, needs software. Okay, so for PostgreSQL you not only need software, you need lot of settings to be done in administration. Okay, you need to do lot of settings, and then only, that is little bit complicated, not but if you do it step by step, but there are lot of procedures, to start, to do the installation, to do the settings, and start PostgreSQL. Okay, so but I will try. I cannot guarantee, because those settings need to be done. Okay, and it should be supported properly in the machine. So I am not aware uh, if that will successfully happen or not. But if it successfully happens, I will demonstrate all the steps of installation as well as setting, and then the assignment of PostgreSQL. Okay, and GIMP and Inkscape I have actually not tried. Till now I have not tried, but I will try. But I have to install these 2 softwares. GIMP and Inkscape are separate softwares. Okay, so let me see if it happens. Then definitely I will upload the videos. First of all, I have to try with the software installation and other. And for Postgre, you have to do lot of settings. So I will try, and if it successfully happens, then I guarantee videos will be available for skill set 5 as well as skill set 6. Okay, so for now 4 skill sets are done, and we will try with skill set 5 and 6. Okay, and if any other topic if you want from the theory, if you want any topic to be explained, then please mention that also in the comment section. Okay, I will definitely try to make a video for that also. Okay, so see you in the next video. Take care everybody.